Hey, I'm out hiking. It's a really beautiful day today to be out hiking. And I wanted to share a little bit about my healing journey. Somebody asked me recently, Caprice, you did visualizations to heal. How did you do them? What kind of visualizations did you do to heal? Great questions. So, I didn't visualize Jesus healing me. Now, that doesn't mean that those kinds of visualizations don't work, because I absolutely do. Many people have experienced healing based on visualizing and imagining Jesus touching them and healing them. For me, what I did, because I didn't know any different, this is the Holy Spirit who told me, Caprice, I want you to begin visualizing and seeing yourself in Bible accounts. Now, again, I didn't visualize and see myself as being people that Jesus healed. Instead, I imagined that I was there with Jesus. He took me back in time, and I was just part of his crowd. I was like one of the disciples. And the reason why this was so powerful was because Jesus treated me like I had inside information. You know, he would be speaking to somebody, he would be doing whatever he was doing, and he'd look at me and wink, like, Caprice, you know this. And so I would imagine singing with his disciples and going places and experiencing the things that they experienced, but as myself, and they treated me like I was part of them, I was one of them. Now, how did this help me on my healing journey, you might be wondering? Great question. I got to know Jesus. Before I would do these visualizations, I would read a Bible account. I would write down a couple of thoughts about it, and then I would say, Lord, show me your character. Help me to see you for who you truly are, beyond what I'm just reading in this account. Show me who you are, Lord. Help me to understand who you are. And he came to life in these visualizations. I mean, obviously Jesus is very much alive. But it was through praying this, the Holy Spirit began taking over these visualizations, and he would open my understanding to things that I never would have seen just by reading these Bible accounts. I got to know him. And it was through getting to know him that I began experiencing his love for me. I started realizing Jesus has the best sense of humor. Did you know that? I didn't. I always thought God was so serious. Oh my goodness, Jesus has a better sense of humor than anybody. We would laugh together. We had so much fun. So that was one of the kinds of visualizations. I would do a visualization like that every single morning after reading the Word. And like I said, I would read maybe, just a story, a paragraph even in the Word, and create a visualization based on that. So that was my first visualization. Every single day, every morning I would do that. My next visualization, I would visualize what my life looked like after I had healed. So I was training my brain to see my life healed, to see myself beyond what my current experience was. Instead of saying, oh Lord, please heal me in these visualizations, I was looking at my life like it was already done, and my brain was going, oh, That's our reality. Okay, that's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to feel. And by visualizing that, and I'll tell you, one of the things that I visualized the most was giving my healing testimony. I would imagine standing in front of huge crowds, talking about all of the things that I had overcome, all of the ways that I had healed. And it was those visualizations that I got so wrapped up in. I would spend sometimes an hour seeing myself this way. It was really incredible. It was like, I would imagine going and preaching in prisons and letting people know, you don't have to be this way. You aren't defeated. You can have joy, you can have peace, you can have life, even here. So those are the kinds of visualizations that I did. And I did probably at least 90 minutes of visualizations every single day. So the first one was based on a Bible account. The next one was based on what my life looked like after I healed. And then the third one, because I had such severe insomnia, because at that point I didn't know how to do the rest and digest, my body was definitely in sympathetic mode rather than parasympathetic mode. And so I had to teach my brain how to rest. So I would take a hot bath, or I would crawl into bed, and I would do a visualization of being so relaxed. I just visualized being totally relaxed. Like maybe imagining being at a hot springs. And I would speak over myself that I was just so relaxed and calm. And I'll share another video, or several others, in depth about what these visualizations look like, what they consisted of. But usually I did at least 3 visualizations every single day. One based on the Bible, one based on my future self being healed, and one based on being so relaxed. But there are other kinds of visualizations you can do as well. I'll share more soon.